Here.
Here.
Terry Kavner.
Here.
David Roberts.
Here.
Janie Milam.
Here.
Glenn Lewis.
Here. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Please stand. All right, thank you. We have a presentation from the Oklahoma Municipal League. Do we?
I don't think we have anybody
Here?
from OML here.
Okay.
If you don't mind
Would you like to do it?
doing that. Well, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Every year we get the opportunity through our participation in OML to honor employees who have reached 25 years of service actually with municipal governments anywhere in Oklahoma. Most often it's with our city, but occasionally, and I think maybe with Cheryl it may be that way. It's 20-something years with Moore and a couple of years with another city. But Cheryl McConnell is our assistant finance director, and she's being recognized tonight by OML and the city for 25 years of municipal service to governments and to the city of Moore. So Cheryl, would you come forward, please? Thank you for your service to our city. Cheryl's very important around. She helps Jim take care of all the money, so
She does payroll.
we need to make sure that, yeah, she helps with payroll, so she's good. We have another employee, Perry Smith. I don't think Perry's here. Is Perry here? Wasn't able to be here, Richard. Okay, we'll go ahead and give that to Perry. Ask you to do that, Richard. But Perry Smith is another of our employees who's a long-time employee. We are very blessed to have many employees that have worked for us for quite a long time. Perry is in the sanitation department and has been, again, with us for a long time and does a great job for us, so we appreciate that.
Absolutely. Okay. Item 2 is the consent docket. Item A is approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting held November 21st, 2011. Item B is approve a correction of plat for the omission of dimensions and bearings on the rear lot lines for Lot 3, 4, and 7, Block 2 of the Willows Edition, Section 7, being located north of Southwest 34th Street and west of Telephone Road. Item C is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2011-2012 in the amount of $1,474,145.07.
Move to approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on these items? Any notes or minutes to the changes of the minutes? Or any questions on the claims? If not, would you call for the vote?
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Kathy McMillan.
Yes.
Terry Kavner.
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Janie Milam.
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 3 is consider awarding bid number 112-007, purchasing of 39 mobile video cameras to Martel Electronics in the amount of $136,705.
Yes, Mayor and Council, the Police Department would request that you consider accepting the bid from Martel Electronics on the mobile video cameras. We received 7 bids on that. 3 of those came in at a higher cost than Martel, and 3 of the other 3 didn't meet the specifications that were required on the bid. So Martel was able to meet all of the bid specifications and come in at the lowest cost. So therefore, we consider that to be the best overall bid, and would leave that for your consideration.
Okay, thank you.
Move to approve?
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you both. Any other discussion on this item? If not, we have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote?
Jason Blair.
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Thank you very much, Steve. Item number 4 is consider the appeal of Ronald Carter of an administrative order of condemnation for 1548, North Southminster. Elizabeth?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. On September 29th, 2011, the 1548, North Southminster was posted for condemnation. This was due to unrepaired fire damage. An administrative hearing was held on October 12th, 2011 to determine if the property should be condemned. The property owner, Mr. Ronald Carter, failed to appear at the hearing. An administrative order of condemnation was issued, giving Mr. Carter until November 28th to demolish the building and remove all of the debris from the property. And he is now appealing this order to you. The house is located at 1548 Southminster, was involved in a fire on March 30th, 2011. It did cause extensive damage to the interior of the home. The home has been vacant for now approximately 9 months. There's been no action taken by Mr. Carter to repair the property. Here on this slide, I do have a brief timeline if you can read it, that just kind of goes over the steps that we've been taking since the fire in March. This is going to be the view of the facade, each of the facades of the property. The house is brick, so the exterior damage is kept to a minimum because of the brick. However, all of the windows are busted out, and there is extensive fire damage in the roof, which then comes out through the soffits, and especially on the south side of the property. And here you can see some better pictures. We do have an open soffit that allows animals and rodents to get up into the roof. We do have charred and burned rafters, beams, and decking of the roof. We do have broken fascia and broken soffit vents, and we have damage to the roof and the shingles. The actual property damage is bad at this property. However, the other item that needs to be looked at is the continued habitation, I guess, of this property. There are no utilities. The property, we don't know how sound the structure actually is. However, we do have reports of Mr. Carter continuing to go in and out of the building. Here are some photos that were taken by some neighbors in September that shows you the continual in and out of not only Mr. Carter, but other individuals, I'm assuming by his invitation. So today here we are reviewing the administrative appeal. I do believe that this property does meet our definition of dilapidated and is clearly something that is open to condemnation. I would recommend that we do condemn this property and begin with the demolition and debris removal. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Elizabeth, what is our definition of dilapidated?
Well, basically, you look at the entire structure. It's broken windows, it's an unkempt yard, it's whether or not there's any damage to the property. And here we do see damage, and it is open. It's open to the elements in some places, and it's open for animals. And it makes an attractive nuisance to the neighborhood with children in the neighborhood.
Do you know if there's been vandalism or anything like that going on around the house, or?
I'm not aware of any vandalism. I think some of the neighbors are here who maybe could talk more about that.
Is Mr. Carter here?
I'm here to speak for Mr. Carter. I apologize.
Sure. No problem.
My name is George Lamb. I'm the state coordinator for the Americans with Disabilities Act and a licensed attorney. and I have just recently come in contact with Mr. Carter. He is a gentleman who's 100% disabled. During the tornado we had, he suffered some brain damage. He's borderline to the point that he may or may not need a guardian. But I'm here not just to tell you that, but in the last few weeks, we've gotten together and made a plan to redo his house. We've accumulated $35,000 in assets. We've engaged a contractor to clean it up, and that'll should start this next week. And after the cleanup, I have a written plan. After the cleanup, they're going to be able to go in there and tell us in a better way what actually needs to be done to that house. I've been inside it myself. I had a structural engineer in the other day, and he said it just needs to be cleaned up first, and then he can come in there and give us an estimate of what it needs to be repaired. So one of the things I need to do because of Mr. Carter's mental condition, we probably need to do this in a room at a time. The cleanup can go on and just clean the whole thing up, I don't care. But when we repair the house, we'll do it a room at a time. He seems to be locked in on approving everything and doing everything kind of himself. So as long as I can accommodate that, then we'll let him, and if they do it a room at a time, it should still be completed in mid-January.
Well, does he live in this house?
No, he actually lives in an apartment just south of it.
Okay, I guess the question is, did he live in this
Oh,
house?
yes, he did, and he's gonna move back in. And he does have some property there. What they're talking about is coming and going. He actually has a really nice pool table in the garage. And he kind of hangs onto that for his sanity, I think.
Okay.
Now, do you have contracts with the cleanup, with the contractors and stuff? Is everything in a contract and everything ready to go? And
Everything is ready to go, except your blessing.
He didn't even need my blessing to start 9 months ago.
Well-
Did he not have insurance?
No, he didn't. And remember, he's been mentally disabled now for the last 2.5 years, severely mentally disabled. It's hard for him to function at all. And I'm just debating, I haven't talked to his mother and his sister yet, but he may need a guardian. He's just one of these people that, it's not like you and I. I wouldn't even be here tonight but by an accident. I just happened to run across him and noticed he had a problem, which is how these things sometimes
So
happen.
what do you think would be fair?
Well, let's give him a chance to clean it up. He has, before he was injured and had this brain damage, he collected a lot of fine cars that are very valuable, and he's agreed to sell those vehicles to fix up his house. And a few of them are worth $30,000, $40,000 a piece. So he has the assets to fix it. The question is, and I do believe at this time he can handle his own affairs, but that's something, since I'm involved, we should check out. Because it has taken him a long time to get on the program with this.
I guess the question I was asking or looking for was how many days does he need to get started on this?
Well, I would need about 2 weeks to get it all cleaned up, and because I may come back in 2 weeks and say, hey, you know, it's going to cost more to fix it than it's worth, and because I don't know that, to be honest with you.
now, will you know this in 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks, I feel certain I'll know it in 2 weeks.
Because if I lived next door to this, I'd want the city to bulldoze it down tonight.
Well, yeah, bulldozing it down tonight would solve some problems. It wouldn't solve any of his.
No, it'd be mine if I lived next door, though.
Well, I understand that. I truly understand that.
So is he mentally capable to make his own decisions? Like, is he able
Well,
to?
you know,
is he
under
handle
the
it?
law, to answer your question, probably not. But under the law, that's not the test. The test is he a danger to himself or others? And the answer to that, no, I don't know. He needs to see a doctor, probably.
I'd like to hear from the neighbors.
Okay, yeah, we've got a couple people signed up. Elizabeth Owens, would you like to speak on this issue? Yes. Sure. Thank you, sir.
We've been trying to figure out what's been going on for 9 months. He has been in and out of that house, drinking, having parties. There's not been any vandalism yet. He goes in, he lifts up the garage. To my knowledge, it was supposed to be secured, locked down, nobody to go in it, unless they were making repairs. He's been in, we've watched him lift up his garage, just walk in, drink, party, have a good time, have people come over, repair cars in the driveway. No move to fix the property. Nothing has been done. I mean, he even has a hard time getting his lawn mowed. We've called code, the whole neighborhood has. It's not just a few of us, there's a lot of us that are concerned about this property. There are a lot of children in the neighborhood. We're afraid they're gonna get in that house and get hurt. When he's there, he starts fires in the garage, in the driveway. He has a grill, he just puts whatever. So we have all this stuff coming in the air to us too. We don't know what he's burning. It's just the house is just an eyesore. And we're paying property taxes and they're gonna keep going up, and we have to look at this every day. Nothing has been done for 9 months. He's just been partying. That's all we see.
Okay. All right, thank you. Anyone else want to speak on this? Yes, ma'am. If you would, please state your name and address for the record so they can put it in the minutes.
My name is Barbara Andrews, and I live adjacent to the property, 953 Northwest 15th Street, and more. If you'll look back on your records, you will see that this gentleman has been picked up by the police several times for drinking and causing a fire at this property.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? All right. Okay. If you would say your name and address for the record, please.
Kimberly Brock, 1029 Northwest 15th Street.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just down the street about half a block, and there has been no repairs at all in 9 months. I was very surprised at this meeting to know that he's had 9 months of legal proceedings, that he should have done something. There's been no action taken. You asked about vandalism. The windows are boarded up and it says no trespassing, I believe. So it looks vandalized, even though it's not been vandalized by anyone other than the property owner.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Steve, do you know how long other cities usually give homes like this an opportunity before the city step in?
It's just really a matter of whether there's any
Okay.
movement or effort or cooperation on the other end of this. We've obviously gotten his attention that we failed to do in the past, apparently. But again, there's been very little effort on his part to do anything now for a long time. You know, you can give him 2 weeks and ask Mr. Lamb to come back and report to you at the next council meeting and see what's happened by then, if anything. But again, with the situation that there is out there, and these folks have been very patient, I think, with us for a long time. So I think giving very much leeway would not be the thing to do.
Randy, can we do that? 2 weeks? Have you come back in 2 weeks?
Motion to table for 2 weeks and see what, what happens within those times and what information Mr. Lamb returns with.
Okay.
Yeah, you always have the option of,
Table the motion.
Sorry, what was your name, the attorney over there? I'm sorry.
Mr. Lamb?
Mr. Lamb, I'll be honest, if we table this in 2 weeks, I would want to know a lot of information, like a good set plan. What, is he gonna be under, guardianship? Can he make his own decisions? What's on the, what's going on with the house? I'm okay with tabling this for 2 weeks, but in 2 weeks, I personally am ready to make a decision at that moment whether or not to start the tractor, or what do we need to do, Because I think these people, 9 months, that's a long time to wait on something like this. But I'm willing to give you that 2 weeks personally. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but.
Well, I think in 2 weeks, there ought to be a very definitive plan in front
absolutely.
of us. And then, from that point on, we monitor to see that plan is carried out. And any deviation from that, then we take action to remove the house.
And if it's a case of, renovations or whatever, I mean, I mean contracts and everything. I want to see legal documentation. You know, I'm willing to do that, but 9 months is a long time. But I think 2 weeks would be all right, but it's gonna have to be pretty strict, in my opinion.
I think that would be fair to us. The only thing that I cannot guarantee you, it would be physically impossible to get his mental status taken care of in 2 weeks.
Right, I understand that. But,
I'm really not worried about his mental status. I'm more concerned about the house at this point, if it's gonna be up or down. So, if you wanna make a motion,
I'll make a motion to table this until the next meeting in 2 weeks.
okay, thank you.
I'll second.
All right, thank you.
Is that good enough, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, you may want to voice just what you expect in 2 weeks.
Yeah, what do you
Okay.
wanna see?
Let's see,
What do we need to see?
what do we need to see?
Randy.
Randy,
You
yep.
need to see the contract from the contractor, who's gonna fix the building, what it's gonna cost, the appraisal, and exactly the timetable that the contractor has.
Well, and also the interior cleanup.
That has to be done
Completed,
first.
completed by then.
And will you be able to tell us in 2 weeks whether or not the place can even be fixed or if it's not repairable?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I would like to see that in 2 weeks if we could.
So I'm gonna come back in hand with the contract, or no. Either way, I'll be back.
And I'd like to see a structural engineer's report from the structural engineer, a certified structural engineer.
Okay, that may be a little bit of a problem. And the only problem I'm seeing is I tried to hire a structural engineer last week, and didn't have any success.
I've got some names and numbers if you need some.
Okay, I can call you.
You sure can.
Randy, is there anything else that you can think of that we might want to cover right now?
I think probably the first thing is the engineer's report that would have to be done, because if they get it cleaned up and they find out that nothing, you know, it's worth less than what it
Right.
would be to
Yeah.
fix it, then
This is all for naught,
they need
yeah.
some kind of report on what they're gonna do to remove the structure
Okay,
and go from there. But if they have cleaned up and there is a structural report saying it can be repaired, at that point, you're looking at some kind of plan where
Well, we can,
possibly start from the outside and work in to make it at least look a lot better on the
Right.
outside.
we can also send our building folks through it if you'll let us into the property and get in after it's cleaned
Why
up.
don't we rely on your building folks and have them come on over?
At a
and
minimum,
in
we
this-
can do that and let you all know what our impression is
Okay.
in 2 weeks after the cleanup. And there may or may not actually need to be, for residential purposes, a structural engineer. It may not have to happen, it could. But I think we'll be able to give you all a good idea, and you all as well, as to what really needs to be done, whether it's not gonna be worth saving.
Structure's definitely worth saving. I think, I've been out there. I was out there this summer.
You didn't go in it though, did you?
I couldn't get in it,
Still can't.
but the fire was concentrated in the one portion of the house on the south side, and there's a lot of smoke damage. But nothing's happened since the night of the fire, evidently. And I think anyone, the property has a value to the house in place, but nothing's happened. The day I was out there was water seeping out the slab. There was a slimy substance there. I mean, it's definitely an eyesore, and it's a health hazard, and
I agree.
it needs to be cleaned up and in a timeline, and we can go out there, and if someone will let us in.
Could we set up a time for me to be out there with you and I'll let you in?
But you need to let us know when it's cleaned up, when the cleanup is finished,
Okay, you want to clean it up first then?
Yes.
Okay.
and then we'll come in and look.
And your name, sirs?
Stan Gray.
Okay, I know. I'll give you a call.
Terry, you look like you're about to say something. Something else.
Yeah, I'd just like to say to the folks that are here, we've not seen this before tonight.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with where we're at, but I also agree with what Robert has said. I don't see a lot of leeway in 2 weeks. If we don't see what we want to see, we're gonna get rid of the property, okay? We're on your side. You should not have to live with that. And I just wanted y'all to know that.
I agree.
I just need a little bit of clarification. Did we want to see a structural engineer's report in 2 weeks?
No, I think our code enforcement, or our inspector
think I don't think you can get one in 2 weeks. Let's send our people through, give you an opinion in 2 weeks after we've looked at it as to whether there needs to be one and or whether the building can be.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the first things, we just need to know whether or not the buildings we're saving.
Right.
I think that'll solve a lot of our issues or questions, I guess.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second to table. Oh, I'm sorry, go
We
ahead.
have one more that
Oh,
would like to come
yeah.
back.
Sure. We learned a long time ago, citizens always get the last word. I thought it was the mayor for the longest time, but that's not true.
Thank you. When his attorney brought up that he has vehicles that could be sold and to make these repairs and stuff, why hasn't it been done? It's been 9 months. I've never seen vehicles that are worth that much on that property. Everything that we have seen has been hauled off, because we had that problem before with 6 broke down vehicles in the driveway. I just don't understand why nothing has been done. I think we've been very, very patient,
I would agree.
and we just don't understand where all this money's coming from all of a sudden, that he's, what has changed. We have not seen any vehicles worth $35,000 or $40,000 anywhere near that property.
I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Mr. Lamb. I don't really care about his financial situation or his mental health. I'm just concerned with the issue right now about the property. The property's got to get fixed or torn down. That's the bottom line. And that's what we're going to figure out in 2 weeks.
If somebody wants to buy it and
Yeah.
fix it up, but it's just something needs.
And I agree with Terry. This is the first I've heard of it, so I apologize for that.
It'll have to be repaired for it to exist long enough
Yes.
to
Oh,
somebody
absolutely.
else buy it, so.
Yeah. Okay, we have, anybody else? Last chance. We have a motion and a second. Would you call for the vote to table 2 weeks to the next meeting?
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts.
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes. Item is tabled. Thank you, Mr. Lamb. Appreciate it. All right, item number 5 is consider resolution number 73311, authorizing the execution and submittal of the CDBG 2010 Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Mayor and Council, this is for our 2010 CDBG program. Each year, HUD does require CDBG recipients to prepare and submit a consolidated action plan, evaluation, and performance review. We call this a CAPER. And we do have this CAPER available for you. I emailed it late last week. I hope you had some chance to review it. In summary, the city received $309,004 in 2010. We did spend a total of $40,745.60 between October 1st and September 30th of 2011. This was 13% of our total program allocation. We expended funds in the categories of administration and public services, which would be the subrecipient contracts that the city signed with our social service agencies like Aging Services, Mary Abbott House, and the Father's Business. If you turn to page 45 of your agenda, I did print out 2 different expenditure summaries. The first is for the actual program year, which again was from October 1st, 2010 to September 30th, 2011. You'll see the amount that we spent during that time. However, we actually ended up spending a lot more money just in the past month. So to date, we have spent almost all of our funding. And the delay was primarily with the sidewalk along Eastern Avenue. It just took us much longer than we anticipated to get through with the environmental review for that sidewalk. But we have that complete now. And so you can see the summaries there. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
Did we fund the juvenile thing in Norman that we used? Did we fund that through the CDBG?
Yes, the Mary Abbott Children's
Yes,
House. Yes,
yes, okay.
we did.
And the next one on the agenda is for the senior meals, is that funded out of that as well?
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
All right, good deal.
Now, the Juvenile Intervention Center that we fund $30,000 or $40,000 every year, that's done
That's-
out of CDBG funds.
Okay, great. That's the only question I had. So, do we need to make a motion for the resolution? Anybody want to make a motion?
So moved.
All right, thank you,
Second?
thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution. Would you call for the vote, please?
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item is approved. Item number 6 is consider approval of community block grant public service contract number 11-01 with Cleveland County Aging Services Incorporated in the amount of $8,000 to provide 12 homebound senior citizens with delivered meals.
This is from our 2011 CDBG program. We did receive a little bit less for 2011 than 2010. And however, we are still going to be providing some funding for our public services, and one of those is aging services, to provide the homebound senior citizens with delivered meals. That's an amount of $8,000. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Do
Make
we
a
only-
motion.
Oh, thank you, I'm sorry. Do we only have 12 people on that program here? I thought there was
No,
more.
this actually just covers the extra amount that's the wait list, the wait
Oh.
list.
Okay,
So that means that everyone in the city of Moore
we'll get one.
who wants a meal can get a meal.
They actually serve over 100 at
That's
the
what I was
center,
thinking,
and then the home delivered meals is very close to 100 every day.
every day. Okay, all right, thank you,
Make a motion to approve?
thank you,
Second.
thank you. Any other comments or questions? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 7 is consider approval of updated Hartford 457 deferred compensation plan document.
Mayor and council, the city has offered deferred compensation plans as a retirement option for the city employees for many years. And one of the plans that's before you tonight is with Hartford. And what we're requesting is that you approve the plan document, which starts on page 51 in your packet. There's a number of items that have changed in the past few years. Our current plan document was approved in 2004, and there's been several changes by IRS policy and law that have changed. So we're asking for you to update that and approve it tonight.
Okay,
Move to approve.
all right, thank you,
Second.
thank you. Any other discussion on this item? If not, we have a motion and a second. Would
Thank
call
you.
for the vote? Thanks, Jim.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 8 is consider adopting resolution number 732-11, calling for and setting the dates for the municipal elections for the year 2012 as provided in the city charter, specifying the officers to be elected, providing for the qualifications of candidates, designating which offices shall be filled by ward, providing for nonpartisan election, providing for residency requirements, directing that a copy of said resolution be forwarded to the Secretary of the Cleveland County Election Board as required by state law, and providing that a copy of the resolution be published in a newspaper of general circulation in the city.
Mayor, this is the resolution that we are required to adopt each time of the year, just about now, whenever we have elections the following spring. This will be the first spring we've had elections in a couple of years or so, but this sets forth the election dates and the filing period. The filing period is proposed to be January 9, 10, and 11. The primary election date is March the 6th, and a runoff for general election, if that's needed, on April the 3rd. We'll submit this copy of the resolution to the election board and then publish it in the newspaper, and then the election board will set this election, and also they will be using our new ward boundaries for the elections this spring.
Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
All right, thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Any other discussion on this item? Anybody? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Jenny Mylum,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the city council meeting and convene the Moore Public Works Authority meeting. Item A is receive and approve the minutes of the regular Moore Public Works Authority meeting held November 21st, 2011. Item B is ratify action to the city council on approval of the Hartford 457 plan document. Item C is approve and ratify claims and expenditures for FY 2011-2012 in the amount of $708,677.31.
Move to approve?
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any, everybody get their claims questions answered? Any notes or changes to the minutes that you know of? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Item number 10 is consider an agreement with Companion Life through professional reinsurance by international specialty underwriters for the renewal of the city's excess health insurance for calendar year 2012.
Mayor and trustees, C.L. Frady's, our third-party administrator and consultants, has researched the market and received several quotes from several excess health insurance companies. At our request, they have also requested quotes from several companies that offer fully insured plans. Of the fully insured plans, we only received one quote, and that option appeared to have higher costs and reduced benefits. So as far as the excess quotes, Companion Life, our current excess health insurance company, appears to have the best quote for our renewal. The renewal quote is $547,151.04, which is an increase of $131,582.88 over our current contract. This increase is due to our high utilization and large claimants.
Now, they kick in after $200,000 per incident, is that what?
Well, that's what I was getting ready to tell you, but we have a $75,000 deductible, specific deductible for each individual. We also have a one-time $36,500 aggregating specific. We currently have two large cases that the underwriters have picked out, and it's what they call a laser. And on those two, one of them will be $175,000 deductible and $150,000 on the other one. We'd like to point out that First Health, which is our PPO network, is raising their network access fees by 50 cents per person per month. That's something that they're doing across the board. The staff and the Health Benefit Committee recommends approval of the policy with Companion Life, which is an A-rated company offered through professional reinsurance marketing by international specialty underwriters to provide excess health insurance for calendar year 2012. And if you have any questions, I've got a couple of employees from C.L. Frady's here that would be happy to
I don't know whether you have this off the top of your head, Gary, but for example, we paid this for 2011, paid or will have paid $400,000 or so in reinsurance expense. Do you know how much we've collected so far this year back?
We've collected quite a bit. I don't have the exact dollar number, but we've also got some large claims out that we haven't got.
So probably more than the premium amount?
If we get all the claims that we've submitted, now I'm not saying they're all coming in, but if they do come in, we should be over what, would that be correct, Rick? Yes. If they all come in, we should be over what we paid out. And so it's like any other insurance. If you're paying if you're getting more back than you're paying out, your premiums are most likely gonna be going up. I think our insurance agents could probably concur with that.
Yeah.
Probably don't have to be an
That's a
insurance
problem.
agent to figure that one out, so.
Yeah, there's a problem there.
I think the rest of it could probably figure that out.
I think so.
No doubt. Okay. Do we have a motion?
So move.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Would you call the vote, please?
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. Thank you. Item number 11 is consider approval of excess workers' compensation policy with Safety National Casualty Company, option number 2040904731, with the Beckman Company as agent for 1 year.
Mayor and trustees, our current retention or deductible for excess workers' comp is $300,000 for all classifications except for police and fire, which is $350,000. The lowest specific retention that was offered by either one of the companies that quoted this year was $350,000 for all classifications except police and fire, which is $400,000. So our deductibles are going up. This is something that they've done periodically over the years. And if you think about excess workers' comp, this isn't for the vast majority of our claims. This is just for something that would be more of a catastrophic or a real ongoing type claim. Safety National appears to have the best price for the retention that I just mentioned. The estimated premium is $77,830, and this is about a $14,350 increase in premiums, which is partly due to increase in salaries. Your workers' comp costs are based off of your salary, so as your salaries increase, so does your workers' comp premium. The staff recommends option number 204090473 with Safety National Casualty Company, which is an A-rated company for our excess workers' comp insurance policy for the with the current agent, the Beckman Company, for 2012. And Tom Beckman with the Beckman Company is also here with us tonight if you have any questions from him.
Make motion, we approve.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion on this item? If not, would you call for the vote, please?
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Robert Kraus.
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. At this time, we'll recess the Moore Public Works Authority meeting and convene the Moore Risk Management meeting. Item number 12 is A, is accept the minutes of the regular Moore Risk Management meeting held November 21st, 2011. Item B is approve and ratify the claims and expenditures for 2011-2012 in the amount of $130,773.63.
Move to approve?
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion on these items? Any minutes changes that you know of? If not, would you call for the vote?
David Roberts,
Yes.
Janie Mylum,
Yes.
Robert Kraus,
Yes.
Jason Blair,
Yes.
Kathy McMillan,
Yes.
Terry Kavner,
Yes.
Glenn Lewis.
Yes, item carries. This time we'll recess the Moore Risk Management meeting and reconvene the City Council meeting. Item number 13 is new business. Item A is citizens forum for items not on the agenda. There's no one signed up. Anyone like to speak? Item B is items from the City Council or trustees. I have one item. We lost our drug dog this weekend, and I'm not sure the circumstances of it or whatever. It could have been intentional. I don't know. But I would like to see us, in case it was intentional, I would like to see us get another one right away and start that up. I don't want drug people thinking they can just come in and kill our dog. So I really would like to see that started, like, as soon as possible.
Any idea what kind of results we got out of the previous dog?
I don't know.
Jerry, you wanna come up?
understand they didn't find the dog's collar, is that right? They didn't find the dog's collar?
We have not found the dog's collar, no.
That usually indicates that the dog was the collar was taken probably as a reward. The Mexican cartels and a lot of drug dealers, even locally, they offer rewards for those things. So, and I just don't want them to win.
Well, I can tell you that what we do know now, and it's currently under investigation, so we can't talk about a lot of that, but what we do know now that we had the doctor look at the dog, and it was hit by a car. So, that's about all we know, so.
Okay.
And it did not have its collar, so.
That's kind of strange, the dog, or drug dog not to have its collar. So,
I think there was some confusion, at least on my part, because there was something on TV talking about a second dog. We don't have a second dog now, or we do have a second
We do
dog?
have a second, we just,
oh, we do? Okay.
we just got
Yeah,
one.
yeah, we have one.
All right. Yeah, I just don't want, if it was criminal intent on somebody's part, I don't want them thinking that the city's now open for drug use or whatever, that we're gonna crack down. I can't tell you how many agencies have called me today and says, hey, we have our drug dog if you guys need one or whatever, and it's like, thanks, but I don't know that we need it yet. So that's available to us.
Chief, out of curiosity, do you have, you probably don't know this, but off the top of your head, do you know kind of what kind of bust or anything it's been involved with, or kind of what things the dog has done for the city, or any idea?
Yeah, you're right. Not off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. I know that just from the reports that I see, it's generally on assisting other officers on traffic stops when they suspect that there's some drug activity or possession going on. So,
Gotcha.
Would you like to see the dog replaced?
that's something, you know, like I said, we just got the other new one, so I can't really say whether, you know, we need to replace the dog. It's something we have to take a closer look at, you know. Don't have enough comparison there from having 1 to 2. We've always had 1, and then we decided to go with the second one. And like I said, that one has just been trained, and
Is it even in?
it is in service.
It's in service,
It
okay,
is in
good deal.
service, yes.
Is that the German Shepherd?
Uh-huh.
Is that the German Shepherd? Yes. I saw him out in the streets the other day.
Who's the handler of that one?
Sergeant Miller, Jeremy Miller.
All right.
Thank you, Chief.
Any items from the city manager? Yeah, thank you very much.
No, I don't have anything there.
What? That's a first. Yeah. Okay. Item number 14 is adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Let's call for the vote, please. No, we didn't.
Janie Mylum? Yes. Robert Kraus?
Yes.
Jason Blair?
Yes.
Kathy McMillan?
Yes.
Terry Kavner?
Yes.
David Roberts?
Yes.
Glenn Lewis?
Yes, we're adjourned. Thank you for coming. I was wondering, a lot of cities don't do that.
Yeah, the person who opens the meeting can close it.
Close it. That's what I thought.